So this is our school, Stone Junior High.
So our firm's name is PrizTech Innovation. My name is Mina Braden.
I am Connor Kraft.
I'm Zayden Brandmore.
Our student base is 500 motivated 7th and 8th graders.
Our school type is a public charter school that will serve the Portland metro area.
And our location is in Portland, Oregon on the Willamette River.
So here is a closer look at our school location. It's an area that's very surrounded by trees, but it already has room for buildings, so we don't need to clear any of those trees to build our school. And it's very centered in nature and very close to the Willamette River, while still less than 10 minutes away from Portland.
Our mission is to educate and immerse the whole student, and for students to have a broader understanding of what they're learning and how it relates to the world around them, fueling curiosity.
Our vision is for the people of the future to have a broader understanding of life and how it works around them.
Our learners. So motivation is defined as the general desire or willingness of somebody to do something. We want to help people who are motivated to learn and explore their interests. How do we plan to do this? With immersion to what they're learning, independent and group studies, and by answering the common question of, how does what we're learning in school relate to real life? By motivated, we don't mean that our children need to be academically gifted or accelerated. They just need the drive and maturity to learn and create. Needs for improvement within our current school. We did our own walkthroughs around our school, and we found many issues that we would like to address in our school of the future.
These issues include small hallways, lack of any natural light in the hallways, very few power outlets, small cramped desk spaces, no air conditioning, and long narrow hallways make it hard to get to class.
One of our biggest goals was to make sure our school improves on the areas of our current school that students were dissatisfied with, such as the uninviting environment, the confined spaces, the inadequate outdoor spaces, the static curriculum, and the inadequate spaces for socialization. We plan to solve these by using our SMART architecture, which stands for scientific, multi-purpose, artfully designed, responsive, and thoughtful.
As well, in the process of developing our school, we did some brain research and we found many things. The first of which being that there is a color of success. Research shows that the color blue helps kids think creatively. So a lot of the rooms in our school have open ceilings so the students can see the sky.
Most students work best in large space environments that with high ceilings and windows.
Schedule of success. The majority of students have trouble focusing after long periods of time and work best with lots of breaks. Early sketches and designs of our building. Here are some of the early designs and models and renditions of our building, starting with a paper of sketched ideas, our first condensed school design, the first 3D model of that condensed school design. Then we compacted that school design, and we began 3D modeling what is our final design.
Some people who helped us plan and redesign were Miss Hindroffer, who's our architecture teacher, who helped us condense our ideas and turn them into something more.
Mr. Allen, an architect who works on designing schools and gave us advice about our layout.
And my aunt, Charmaine, an architect who listened to our slideshow and gave us very valuable feedback to help improve.
Here are some images of the exterior of our building, including a bird's eye view, front, back, and an image of our LASS building. We begin our journey at the parking lot pickup drop-off area out front. Here we use a 3-lane design to minimize congestion. As they enter the lobby, students will see 2 main stairs along with some plants. Continuing through the lobby, you will see an indoor green space that features native fish. Moving on to the main hallway area, you can see a gathering space for students. Next up, flying on, you can see the STEM Lab makerspace. Next up, another student gathering space, this time outdoors. A place of creativity, the art classrooms. Room to grow. Our student has 2 multi-purpose greenhouses. Our school. A place to read. Our library features an indoor-outdoor space for students. Our gym features a variety of ways to exercise, including rock climbing. Musical arts. Our school offers different musical programs to interested students. For history, students will learn in LASS-themed classrooms. The themes are Ancient Japanese, Chinese, and Renaissance, Ancient Indian and Greek/Roman. Finishing up the first floor, we have medieval and Islamic architecture. Here you have a peek into one of our fully furnished classrooms interior. The second floor starts with early American and colonial architecture. Continuing on, we have westward expansion and antebellum architecture. Lastly, we have Civil War architecture and a storage room. Can't all be themed. Socialization space. Here's our outdoor glass dome used as part of the cafeteria. Our cafeteria features our cafeteria is multi-purpose and fresh fruit and surroundings. Our cafeteria features food made on site with ingredients sourced locally. Lastly, our school features an underground parking lot with staircases leading into the building.
So, parking is a giant issue at our current school. Often, all of the front spaces are filled up and people will have to walk from the next door parking lot. This problem is solved in our school as people don't have to wait in line to park, reducing congestion. Congestion is also a really big issue at our school. With a 2-lane parking system, parents can pull into the idling lane, let their kids out, and then pull back out into the driving lane. Buses have their own lanes too, so they don't have to wait to let their kids out.
Roof spaces. Our lush green rooftop in this classroom, are both environmentally and mentally helpful. People walking up top can feel connected to nature and creativity. Language arts and history building. Language arts and history classrooms. Each classroom is based on the architecture of a time period students will study, which leads to immersion into our curriculum.
Student spaces. Socialization is really important for a student's well-being, especially after all we've been through lately and having to deal with school being online. We see that more than ever. So our school has student spaces that are spread out all across the school. These spaces can be used for work, eating, or just hanging out.
Dining hall. Our school's dining hall promotes healthy eating by offering local produce. It also has 2 types of seating for 2 different types of groups, and locally sourced food for our house-cooked meals.
Some areas of our school contain high-efficiency solar panels that are about 20% efficient, and they're placed around the school to generate up to 200 kilowatt hours per day. Excess energy from these is given back to the power grid.
Most roofs in our school are green roofs. This works as an effective rain buffer, filters air, aids efficiency of solar panels. So it's a great area to grow fruits and vegetables for both students and the community, and it also aids in heating and cooling of the main building.
Our school library is open to be used by the community during most non-school hours.
In addition, our school's kitchen is open for community meal service on the weekends.
And the forests surrounding our school are open on the weekends and after school for both student and pedestrian use.
Every week, Our school partners with a local business to provide food or an educational experience for students. Our green spaces and gardens will be open for both community and class use. Teachers and members can sign up for a plot of land and we'll provide everything except the seeds and the labor. Food from these green spaces around the school will be used for meals in our cafeteria, and extra will be donated to the local food banks.
Conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. That is a quote from John F. Kennedy. And how that relates to schools in general is that in the past, school has been the opposite of that. School has been conformity-based. Everyone used the same textbooks, everyone the same grade, had the same teachers, same assignments, same tests. But that really doesn't work because all students are individuals with different ways of learning and thinking. And to make sure that every single student is learning in the way that's best for them, the curriculum of the future is also going to need to be adaptable to that. So the curriculum of the future. Our main and biggest goal for this curriculum is to be adjustable for the student's needs so we can educate the whole student. So we're going to do this with many additions, including students will be paired with teachers that work well with them. There will be many options provided for each assignment, and there will be independent and group studies for things that students are interested in.
Our curriculum stems. Makerspace. The makerspace is shared between the two STEM elective classrooms. This space is designed to fuel creativity and innovation among students.
And flexible workspaces. Most desks in our school will contain a touchscreen compact computer that you can just port your laptop into. And as well, our curriculum will follow the same SMART model, in this case, meaning scientific, multi-purpose, artistic, responsive, and thoughtful. Immersion into what is being learned. Something I often hear peers ask is, why does what we're learning matter? We want to make sure our students know this. And one of the ways we plan to show this is with immersion in the forms of social studies classrooms in the style of past architectures, science activities that will be set out in nature for full experience, and many, many interactive field trips.
Our school will have a 10 a.m. start time, which allows students to get more sleep, and it leads to better performance and concentration.
The class schedules will be 8 classes in an A-B schedule. They will be an hour and 10 minutes long each, but the students won't be sitting down the whole time. Classes will be short lectures combined with immersion projects and time spent outdoors.
Break times. Our school has 10-minute passing times, which allows for socialization and less stress from getting class to class, along with multiple breaks throughout the day for students to do their work, hang out, and eat.
Counselor and teacher support. It's really important for students to be able to succeed and be comfortable in school. To make sure this happens, we plan to make sure that the student knows their teachers and counselors well, and we're going to have smaller class sizes, which will allow for more one-on-one time between teachers and students.
Students will be able to learn more freely and flexibly, allowing them to learn their way so they will retain information better.
By having a choice in what they learn, students will enjoy what they're learning more, which will encourage them to continue learning.
Students will be able to learn subjects in a more in-depth way, which will contribute to their understanding and interest of how the world works.
Thank you. Feel free to ask questions.